She glanced at you, just for a second. Her eyes flickered away, but her lips curled barely noticeable. You probably thought she was just being polite. Or maybe you didn't even notice it at all. But here's the brutal truth. That wasn't politeness. That was fantasy. In that fleeting second, she pictured something. Your hand brushing her hair back. Your voice in her ear. Your name in her phone. But here's the twist. Most men never realize when they trigger that instinct. They walk away, clueless. And she goes home wondering, why didn't he do anything? You ever had that feeling? Was it just in your head, or was it real? If you've ever wondered whether she was secretly imagining you, comment the last time you felt that hidden connection. Stay until the end. The last sign flips everything you thought you knew. You're sitting in a cafe, the kind where the light hits just right in the afternoon, warm, soft, cinematic. She walks in. You barely notice her at first, until something odd happens. Her eyes meet yours, just for a second. Long enough for your brain to register it, but short enough for you to brush it off. She looks away, smooth, casual. You go back to your coffee, but then it happens again. A few minutes later, another glance. This one, even softer. Like she's observing but doesn't want to be caught. You tell yourself it's nothing. Maybe she's just looking around. Maybe she's bored. Maybe it's just coincidence, but it's not. See, when a woman makes eye contact twice, in the same space, same setting, that's not random. That's selective attention. Her brain filtered out the noise and landed back on you. Not because you were the only man in the room, but because something about your presence, your posture, your vibe caught her. Now, here's the kicker. Most guys miss this completely. They assume, if she liked me, she'd make it obvious. But they're looking for smiles, waves, or flirty comments. Not this. Not the quiet moments. The stolen glances. The micropauses. The things that happen before she even knows what she feels. Because women aren't taught to be direct about desire. They're taught to feel it, test it, hide it, and hope the right guy notices. So let me say this straight. If her eyes found you more than once, she noticed something. And she's waiting to see if you're the kind of man who notices it back. Or if you're like every other guy who thinks she was just being polite. Next time this happens, don't ignore it. Don't stare like a creep either. Just hold her gaze. Half a second longer than feels comfortable. Let it sit. Let her feel that you saw her, that you know. Because that look, it wasn't just an accident. It was a whisper. And you? You're the kind of man who listens closely. You're at a party. Music's low, lights are warm, and the drinks are flowing. You're mid-convo with a few people when she joins the circle. She's laughing, playful, and suddenly, for no reason, she turns to you and says, "That shirt. Did you lose a bet or something?" You blink. Was that an insult? Your instinct might be to defend yourself, explain the style, maybe even laugh it off. But here's where you have to pause. Rewind. Zoom in. That wasn't just a random jab. That was a test. See, when a woman is intrigued by a man, especially one she can't quite read, she'll poke the bear. Not out of malice, out of curiosity. She wants to see if you're stable, if you rattle, if you crumble under pressure. Because attraction isn't just about looks or charm. It's about how you carry yourself under fire, even playful fire. You might think she's being difficult, but what she's actually doing is this. I want to know if I can play with your edges without breaking you. It's the same reason she'd ask oddly specific questions. What kind of women do you usually date? Or, are you always this cocky? On the surface, it sounds confrontational, but underneath is fascination. She's searching for the boundary between your confidence and your ego. And here's where mystery comes in. If you get flustered, over-explain, or backpedal, you fail the test. If you shut down completely, same thing. But if you smile, tilt your head slightly, and say, "You'd be surprised," or "Is that your way of flirting?" You flip the dynamic. Now she's the one responding to you. That's when it shifts. That's when she leans in. Because you're no longer just some guy at a party. You're someone who doesn't fold. Someone she can't quite figure out. And humans, especially women, are drawn to what they can't easily define. So the next time a woman teases you, challenges you, or throws a curveball mid-convo, don't take the bait with panic. Let it land. Let her feel your calm. Then toss it right back, playfully, because she's not testing you because she's bored. She's testing you because she cares enough to see what you're made of. And if you pass, she'll never see you the same again. You're sitting at the bar. Low lights, chill music. She's 2 stools down. You're not really paying attention at first. Just sipping your drink, scrolling your phone, minding your world. Then, something odd happens. You lean back in your chair. And a few seconds later, she does too. You shift your glass from your left to your right hand, and so does she. You cross one leg over the other, and you catch her doing it not 10 seconds later. Coincidence? Nah, this one's primal. What you're witnessing is one of the most instinctual attraction behaviors, hardwired into the human brain. Mirroring. When a woman feels connected to a man, emotionally, physically, even subconsciously, her body wants to sync. It mimics his pace, his posture, even his breathing rhythm. Not because she's trying to impress him, but because something deep inside her says, "This feels safe. This feels good. I want to be in rhythm with this energy." But here's the crazy part. She doesn't even know she's doing it. She thinks she's just comfortable, relaxed, maybe even playful. But her body is whispering, "I like this. Keep going." Most guys never see it. They're too focused on their own nerves. Or they write it off as coincidence. But you're tuned in now. Next time you're in conversation with a woman, do this. Subtly shift. Lean forward. Scratch your neck. Take a sip. Then wait. Watch. Feel. Notice if she adjusts within seconds. It's a dance. Silent. Slow, but electric. And when you see it, when you feel that unspoken echo between bodies, it tells you more than any words could. Because attraction isn't loud. It's not always in her laugh, or her compliments, or her texts. Sometimes it's in the way she mirrors your rhythm without even realizing why. And when that happens, that's your sign. You're not just in the room. You're in her nervous system. Picture this. You're sitting across from her at a quiet dinner. The air feels a little heavier than before. There's a candle flickering between you, casting soft shadows that dance across her face. She's laughing at something you said, but then, out of nowhere, her tone shifts. She says, "Yeah, I've always been a little afraid of being too much for people. Growing up, it wasn't easy." You pause. Wait, did she just say that? It almost slips past you. You're in the middle of a casual conversation about movies or favorite cities, and suddenly she drops this little confession. You think, is this just small talk getting deep or something else? Here's what most men don't realize. When a woman begins to reveal vulnerability, especially in those little moments, it's rarely random. She's not spilling her heart because she's bored. She's not oversharing for attention. It's far more instinctual than that. It's trust. Quiet, fragile trust. See, women aren't wired to immediately open up to everyone. They're intuitive, cautious, selective about who they let see the softer, messier parts of them. But when they feel safe, emotionally drawn in, curious, maybe even slightly mesmerized, that guard slips. Sometimes without her realizing it. She's testing something, without even knowing she's testing it. She wants to see if you'll catch it. If you'll meet her there in that quiet space. If you'll handle her softness with the same steady energy that attracted her in the first place. And here's the key. Most guys miss it. They hear her story and think it's just polite conversation, or worse, they panic and try to fix it. Oh no, you're not too much. Don't worry. They rush to comfort or dismiss the moment entirely. But you? You're different. When she drops those subtle, personal details, lean in not physically, but emotionally. Listen. Absorb. Let her. Words hang in the air just a second longer than feels necessary. Then respond with calm presence. Not with a matching trauma story. Not with a solution. Just with something grounded like, I get that. Makes sense why you'd feel that way. Or even just a simple nod. Because what she really wants to know isn't whether you can fix her past. She wants to feel if you can hold it, quietly, comfortably, without judgment. This is the kind of moment that forges emotional gravity. The next time she shares something personal, something about her childhood, her fears, her secret dreams, pause. Feel it. Stay right there in that heartbeat of shared truth. Because whether she realizes it or not, she's not just sharing her story. She's showing you her trust. And most men will never even see it. But you just became the exception. You're at a crowded house party. Music humming, conversations overlapping, people weaving in and out of every room. You're posted up in the corner, just observing. And then, there she is, not right next to you, but close enough to notice. At first, you assume it's just random. The house isn't that big, after all. She's just walking around, grabbing a drink, chatting with her friends. But then it happens again. And again. Every time you shift spots, whether it's by the kitchen, near the balcony, or by the couch, she somehow ends up nearby. Never directly in your space, but always close. Always within arm's reach. You think, is this just coincidence? Or am I overthinking it? Let me make this crystal clear. When a woman keeps orbiting your space repeatedly, it's rarely coincidence. It's proximity attraction. Unlike men, who often go for direct moves, women lean on subtlety. They create opportunities for connection without ever needing to announce it. When she orbits around you, it's her way of saying, I want you to notice me without me making the first move. She's testing your awareness, your social sensitivity, your ability to pick up on the invisible threads between you. Most guys are too distracted to notice. They think she's just getting another drink, looking for her friend, or wandering aimlessly. But you're sharp enough to see the pattern. The beauty of this sign is that it's instinctual. She might not even realize she's doing it. Her body gravitates toward yours, her subconscious leading her before her mind catches up. Why? Because your presence feels good, safe, intriguing, maybe even magnetic. And here's your move. Don't chase. Don't immediately pounce or force a conversation. Instead, let her orbit. Hold your position with relaxed confidence. Speak with others. Laugh. Be grounded in your space. Let her feel that you're the center of your own universe. Then, when the moment feels right, break the tension with something casual but direct. A playful comment, a subtle invitation, a glance that says, I see you there. That's when everything shifts, because now she doesn't feel like she stumbled into your space by accident. She feels like you've invited her in with presence, not pressure. And that's a high a woman never forgets. So the next time she keeps appearing near you, remember this. She's not chasing you. She's responding to your gravity. It's late. The rooftop bar is quiet now. Most of the crowd gone, leaving just a handful of people scattered around soft, glowing tables. You're leaning back, relaxed, the city lights flickering below. She's sitting across from you, sipping her drink. Eyes a little softer now. And then it slips out. There's something about you, she says, almost absent-mindedly. I don't know what it is. You're just easy to be around. It hits you for a second. You smile, maybe even chuckle, thinking she's just being polite. Or friendly. But don't be so quick to brush this off. Most guys hear compliments like that and think they're meaningless. They're looking for surface-level praise compliments about their jawline, their clothes, their status. But that's not how women compliment men they secretly fantasize about. When a woman is drawn to a man, truly intrigued by his presence, she doesn't focus on his appearance. She focuses on how he feels, his energy, his vibe, the emotional effect he has on her, and it almost always comes out in subtle, offhand ways. Phrases like, I feel really comfortable around you, or you're so easy to talk to, or you're different from other guys. They sound innocent. Almost generic, but they're anything but. What she's really saying is this. I don't know why, but I'm drawn to you. Her logical mind can't fully explain it, so it comes out in phrases about your presence, your aura, your energy. Here's the emotional contrast most men miss. You think she's just making conversation, but she's actually confessing attraction in the only way that feels safe to her. Because here's the truth. Complimenting a man's energy isn't small talk for a woman. It's intimacy. It's her stepping closer, letting you know without risking full rejection. And when it happens, your job isn't to overanalyze it or get awkward. Don't ask her to explain it. Don't fish for more. Just smile. Hold the eye contact. Let a little silence linger, because silence in that moment is powerful. It allows her words to echo back in her mind, to grow inside her. Next time she compliments your energy, your vibe, your presence. Don't dismiss it. That's not flattery. That's fascination. She doesn't just want to compliment you. She wants to experience more of you. And by simply holding that space with calm, grounded confidence, you let her feel exactly why she said it in the first place. You're not just easy to be around. You're magnetic. It's late. The kind of late where conversations get slower, deeper. You're sitting on a couch, maybe at someone's apartment after a night out, or in your car parked under streetlights. She's curled up nearby, shoes off, glass in hand, the edge of a smile playing at her lips. Then it happens. She laughs softly and says, you know, you'd be the worst road trip partner. Or maybe the best. You raise an eyebrow. Oh yeah? Why's that? She smirks, eyes half-lidded, and continues. I just feel like you'd either get us hopelessly lost, or we'd end up on some insane adventure we'd talk about forever. And just like that, it happens. She placed you inside her fantasy. It sounds playful, lighthearted. But beneath that teasing tone lies something far deeper. This is the rarest sign of all. When a woman starts weaving you into hypothetical future moments, trips, weddings, adventures, even little inside jokes about someday. It's not random. It's not just her being quirky or whimsical. It's projection. Emotional projection. What she's doing is letting her subconscious paint a picture of what life with you could feel like. And she's doing it in the safest way possible. Through humor, through hypothetical scenarios, through little what-ifs. But make no mistake, she's not talking about some guy. She's talking about you. Because deep down, something inside her is already wondering, what would it feel like to experience more of him? To build memories with him? To explore life by his side? You think she's just joking around, but she's showing you her hidden desires. She's writing you into her daydreams. And here's the part that will shake you a little. When women start doing this, it often means they've already imagined being with you, far beyond what they're letting on. She's pictured how you'd react to meeting her family. She's imagined what your road trips would feel like, how you'd hold her hand in public, how you'd laugh in the kitchen together, and it all slips out in moments like this, casual, playful, but soaked in hidden meaning. So, what do you do when she projects her fantasies onto you? You lean back. You smile. You let the moment breathe. Then, calmly, you say something like, "That actually sounds fun." We'd probably cause some trouble. Keep it light but grounded. Acknowledge her fantasy without pushing too hard. Because here's the secret. The moment you step into that fantasy with her, even slightly, you unlock something most men never do. You become the man she stops just imagining and starts actively craving. That's the emotional bridge. That's where curiosity becomes chemistry, and it doesn't require a grand gesture, some clever pickup line, or overthinking every move. All it takes is presence. Calm, grounded presence. That says, "I see what you're doing, and I like where this is going." That's how you go from being the guy in the room to being the guy in her dreams. And trust me, once you've been there, you'll never be just some guy again. Eye contact that lingers twice and then again. Playful teasing that isn't rejection, but a test of your mystery. Subtle mirroring her. Body syncing with yours before either of you realize. Unexpected vulnerability, her casually revealing something personal to see if you can handle it. Physical orbit, she keeps ending up near you, drawn to your space. Compliments about your energy, your presence, not just your looks. And finally, future projection, her slipping you into her someday stories. Save this video. Rewatch it after your next night out. You'll be stunned how often these signs were there, right in front of you. But most guys never saw them. You will now.